It's Angie. We are Centered CEOs. We love that we've created this community and we look forward to its growth in 2021. Today, we're going to just talk briefly about really how important it is to have a mission and core values. With a mission and core values, you're really able to align your passion with profitability.
Welcome, whoever's watching us today. Happy 2021. We are all hoping that this year is going to be a much better year than 2020 was for a lot of us. And there's definitely a lot of hope on the horizon. So I definitely think I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel in a lot of different ways. But today, Angie and I really want to talk about your why. And I think that there's no better time to either define your why or go back and reflect on your why than at the beginning of a new year. And so for all of us that have companies, and Angie and I talk about our why all the time, who have companies that we've had for years, or whether you're building a new company, one of my favorite books is by Simon Sinek, which is Start With Why. And I think that it perfectly captures really one of the most important things about your business, which is, why does your business exist? So we believe that a successful business really lies at the intersection of passion and profit. So in other words, it's all about taking the things that you love and are good at and then making them profitable and sustainable. So you have to really run your business and also your life from a place of awareness, intention, and purpose. And we are really big on mindfulness because we believe that mindfulness will empower you to overcome and eliminate limiting beliefs that truly stop you from achieving your full potential. And if you have a business that has a really intentional why, then overcoming obstacles and things like 2020 and the pandemic are going to be a whole lot easier for you. And businesses that have a clear purpose and a clear vision have customers that are really loyal and will stick through you through thick and thin and support you during difficult times. And having a clear vision also gets you out of bed in the morning, even during times when you're feeling down, even during times where you feel like your business is not in the place where you want it to be, or you feel like your personal life is not in the place that you want it to be. Having a really clearly defined vision and purpose will help drive you.
And what you do in your business is so different from your why. Your why is very personal. And I think it's very different when you change your focus from what you do to why you do what you do. And Jen and I have our personal whys. And I think that even though you have your personal why, a lot of what makes up your personal why becomes part of your business why. And I think it's why we attract the people we attract, from our clients to our employees. If you have a why for your business that's based on your personal beliefs and your character and what you stand for, you are going to attract like-minded people to work in your business, to want to support your business, from your suppliers to your customers. So I think really the message as you create this why is to really share that why with those that matter to you. And it's easy to get very overwhelmed by the why. And I think you can translate why to so many different things. It can be your dream. It can be literally what truly gets you up out of bed, what gets you excited. And when you find out those things, and sometimes your why is a combination of different things. I know for me, my why is definitely comprised of my family, and recognizing the fact that my family, is so blessed. And so my extension of my why is that it definitely goes beyond my family. It goes to helping my community. And you'll see that the most successful companies, the most successful brands, they have a why that is greater than themselves. And there's so many wonderful examples of those types of companies that create a why, and their why might not even right off the bat relate directly to their services and products, but it's so important and it's bigger than their brand that it creates that ongoing loyalty with their customer base.
Totally, 100%. I agree with what Angie had to say. And I think that truly, why do you do what you do is really the first question that every entrepreneur has to ask themselves. Because a business without a purpose really cannot create a roadmap for success. So intentionally and mindfully identifying your long-term vision and then building your business and your whole brand around your why will help you develop deeper connections with your customers, engage your employees, you have longevity, and ultimately you'll also have better profits. You'll be more profitable because you are going to have employees that support your vision, that are dedicated to working with you and for you, and team members that support your vision, and then customers that want to buy from you specifically. So most companies know what they sell, right? I sell pens, or I sell massages, or I sell food. But people don't really buy products and services for the sheer purpose of buying a product or a service. Most of us make most of our buying decisions on a deeply emotional level. So it's about how something makes us feel. It's about, why do we have loyalty to specific brands? Because we identify with those brands on a deeply personal level. So if your clients and your employees are not identifying with your brand on an emotional level, they're not really going to be loyal clients and loyal employees on a long-term basis.
One of my favorite brands is Tom's shoes. And it's not the shoe itself. I don't find it to be the best looking shoe. And quite frankly, I don't find it to be the most comfortable shoe either, but it's their values and it's their mission that really resonates with me. I mean, it's quite simple. It's make a difference in the life of others. And everyone, if you know Tom's brand, you know what they do to make that happen. When you buy a pair of Tom's shoes, you're buying a gift for somebody else in a third world country that needs shoes. And so that resonates with so many people. It creates this ongoing loyalty between Tom's and its customers and everyone that's on that chain in between, from their suppliers to the people who, the journalists that want to write about Tom's, and to give them, a bigger voice than just the shoe itself. Their product is the shoe, but it could be anything. They could be giving, a shoe, or they could be giving, clothing. It doesn't matter what they're giving. It's the shoe is, you buy a pair of shoes, you support Tom's, and in return, you're providing a gift for someone who's in need.
Yeah, and I think whatever it is that you do, and whatever products or services your business sells, whether you're a travel advisor and you help travelers create unforgettable adventure experiences while simultaneously educating them on the importance of conservation, or you're a health and wellness coach and you're helping people achieve their health and wellness goals and dreams, or you're a graphic designer, whatever it is, you need to have a purpose that's bigger than yourselves. So you have to genuinely and passionately define your why. And that's going to help keep you committed. And Angie loves Tom's shoes. I love Tom's shoes also, but there's so many great examples of companies that are able to know and define their why and stick with it. And one of the most famous, of course, is Apple. Their whole thing is think different. And so why was Apple able to go from making computers to making iPods, to making music, to making telephones? It's not because Apple has technology or employees that are somehow that much better than everyone else. It's because Apple has brand loyalty, and people who love Apple products, I'm one of those people. I have my Apple computer, I have my Apple phone, I have my Apple AirPods. We identify with that particular brand. And so if you feel like having a why is not doesn't apply to your business, that's absolutely not true. Every single business, whether you're a tiny solopreneur or you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation, if you don't have a super strong mission for your business, you are not going to have longevity and sustainability.
Your why is what really keeps you focused. And like using Apple as an example, when Apple was litigating with Apple, the music company, who would have thought that decades later that Apple would have such a creative space in music, right? And I think it's important to recognize that you have to be so focused on that why to continue to deliver year after year as your industry becomes, competitive. There's so many players in everyone's industry, but people stay loyal to Apple because they know if they don't want to miss the opportunity for what is Apple going to do next. So they stay so engaged with the product because they understand that that innovation is inherent in everything that Apple does.
And, other brands, if you're thinking about who are you personally loyal to, like what are the brands that you buy from time and again, no matter what they're putting out there, like who are you loyal to? And I think that the pandemic was a really big wake-up call for a lot of businesses, both large corporations as well as very small mom and shop businesses. I know that throughout the pandemic, it was really important for us to purchase carry out delivery from some of our favorite local restaurants. I don't usually really like delivery. I don't think that the food ever tastes the same when you pick it up and then eat it 30 minutes later as it does when the waiter delivers it. And I love going out to dinner because I love not having to set the table, clean up afterwards. But we supported our local restaurants because we felt personally invested in their continued ongoing success. We wanted them to stay in business. We identified with their dream. Some of our favorite restaurants are really small local mom and pop restaurants where we've gotten to know the owners over the years. And we know that they saved for years to be able to open this restaurant and then to be able to run this restaurant. And it's part of the community, and they give back to the community. And we wanted to help keep them in business. It had nothing to do really with wanting to get carry out. It had to do with the fact that we were personally invested in their success. And companies that have done that and have done that well fared much better throughout the pandemic than companies that didn't really have a why and that didn't have that loyal customer base. Because if all you're relying on is how good your product or service is, that's great. But somebody will always be able to come up with a better product or service, one way or another. There's going to be a company that comes out with better pencils or a better car or more comfortable shoes or better weight loss programs. But your loyal customers, if they identify with you and they feel like they are part of a community and a tribe and part of fulfilling a bigger purpose than just themselves, then they will continue to stay loyal customers, even if somebody else does come out with a slightly better product or service or a cheaper product or service.
Well, I also think that when you create that loyalty with your customer base, you have that integrity to stay apprised to what's going on in the industry. And you have that feedback and the strong communications with your clients that oftentimes they're going to be the first ones to let you know that, hey, have you thought of this? Have you tried, here's something new that's in the marketplace. And you create such a loyalty that they are there helping support you as you innovate and become, more creative as things, change in your industry, which is always something that's going to happen. We have to keep up and we have to adapt and be willing to accept that our products and services are always evolving, but that why is what keeps us holding strength with our consumers and our loyal customers.
Yeah, and I think also, one of the things that we always hear small business owners and big businesses too, but really small business owners complain about is that they feel like they are always competing on price. Well, one of the reasons that you're competing on price is because you are not differentiating yourself from your competition. And one of the best ways to differentiate yourself from the competition is to have a very unique, very personal and meaningful and intentional mission. And then taking that mission and supporting it with your core values. So that's the next thing we wanted to touch on today, is talking about the core values, which are really the glue that should hold your company and your team together.
And core values can resonate with terminology that really explains why it is you do what you do and how you go about doing it. Is your emphasis on creativity? Is it on synergies between you and your partners and your employees? So it's really how you get from the why to your products and services and how you distinguish yourselves in that delivery process. And it's truly what you offer that's unique. And I know Janet and I were talking about, I mean, there's so many different companies, Janet, that have core values and that they just resonate with you. And you can see if you constantly communicate those core values to your team and making sure that those core values are delivered to the marketplace, it's just you maintain that brand loyalty.
Yeah, I mean, one of the companies that I really like that I identify with is Adidas, actually. It's a big brand. Everyone knows it. But I just want to, and I have it pulled up so I can just read it, so I'm not paraphrasing. But Adidas says that their purpose is, through sport, we have the power to change lives. That's a big mission. That's a big dream, right? Like, they want to change lives through sports. How do they do that? Well, they want to be the best sports company in the world. And, they feel like it's all about winning, improving their competitive position, achieving peak performance, and helping athletes and general people who want to become more athletic participate in sports and be the best athletes that they can be. So it's a bigger dream and a bigger vision. And then their core values really support their vision and support why they do what they do. And I think one of the mistakes that a lot of companies start with when they're starting their business, and then especially as you're growing and expanding, is you focus so much on the product that you're selling. Like, we want to sell the best product possible. We want to have the best make the best cars, or make the best shoes, or make the best diet pills, whatever it is. But the product is really a reflection of who you are. And so if your values and your mission are at the forefront, at the top of the pyramid of everything that you do, you'll be able to create the products that fit your brand, and more importantly, that are a reflection of who you are, and will attract the type of customers that will value you long term and value your company.
Right. And keep in mind, your ideal client is not going to be the same ideal client as other people in the marketplace. So a perfect example is Subaru has its following, and it's a very environmentally conscious car, but so is Tesla. But I wouldn't necessarily say that those that drive a Tesla are the same people that would also drive a Subaru. So it's really important to figure out, the magnetic connection between your products and services, your ideal client, and your why and your core values. So all of these components come together to really create that alignment between the passion and the profitability.
Yeah, and when your core values and your vision create a sense of community, another great example was SoulCycle. SoulCycle, there are a lot of different cycle studios out there, but even when, and SoulCycle was kind of on the forefront of it, but even when other cycle studios that were less expensive and maybe had just as good instructors came out and were competing with SoulCycle, SoulCycle was still able to maintain a huge market domination because people felt like they were part of the SoulCycle tribe. They felt like they were part of something bigger than themselves. And as human beings, we really want to belong. We want to feel like we're part of something greater than ourselves. And, that's why people who are, driving a Subaru down the road and they see another Subaru, like, get kind of excited and they wave to each other and they're like, yeah, I get you. We're on the same team. Same thing with people that are really loyal to Teslas. My husband loves his Tesla, and every time he sees another Tesla on the road, he kind of smiles and is like, I get those people. They understand. They know what it's like. And so you create this sense of community. And if you start out with wanting to create that sense of community and then build your products and services around it, you're going to have such a better long-term outcome in the loyalty and in the customer satisfaction of the people that you're serving.
I think connection is so important, like you said, Janet. I remember when I ran the inaugural half marathon that was sponsored by Lululemon, and the connection that was created at that event was unbelievable. And it really set the stage for Lululemon to become the brand that it has become. And I know they've become extremely popular as we've all converted to loungewear, working from home and virtually. So, for me to have been able to see the success of Lululemon, that really I felt like that connection that they created by the marathon race that they host in Vancouver. We were given like special merchandise, opportunities to buy things that were never going to be available outside of the day of the race. It really created that instant loyalty that has continued to attract more followers to the brand Lululemon. And I think, in talking about the why and going back to the why, I feel, yes, it's really important to establish that why on the onset of your business and to constantly be, recommunicating and reassessing whether your products and services are being delivered consistently with that why. But at the same time, if you don't have a why, regardless if you've been in business for a decade or even just a couple of years, I think it's important to take the time to formalize that why. And a great way to do that is to talk to your employees, talk to your management, interview your ideal customers or your most loyal customers and ask them, why do you buy from me? Why have you supported my brand as often as you have? And, hopefully you're going to find a lot of consistency in those answers. And if not, then I really think you need to go to the drawing board to really reassess your purpose, because there's obviously, if you're not seeing some consistency in those answers, then it probably is telling you that you haven't identified your why. And take that as a positive situation, because imagine if you're running a business and let's say it's successful, which congratulations to you. Here's an opportunity to embrace a why that is only going to have a positive impact on your business and the people that you serve.
And I think another really important thing to consider when you're thinking about core values and your why, your mission, your vision, is it helps a lot with longevity of your business. And it also creates an opportunity to form a company that's bigger than yourself. One of the things that we talk a lot to small business owners about is their exit strategy. Like what is your long-term goal for your business? Do you want to grow your business so that it becomes, a huge corporation and sell it? Do you want to grow your business and then maybe leave it to your family? Do you want to stay and work in your business forever? And most people are, as business owners, we're very busy working in our business on a day-to-day basis. But when you have a vision and a dream that's bigger than you, that's bigger than any one person, it's much easier to build a company around that, so that whatever you may want to do and wherever life takes you, your business will be able to be bigger than just you. And that's really the dream of most business owners, is to create something larger than themselves, because we never know, what life is going to throw at us. And we never, I might think today that I want to work in my business forever, and then maybe I have a health event, or maybe I decide that I want to retire and travel the world, or I want to sell my business. You want to be able to have those options, and starting a business with a vision and very clearly defined core values will really help you as you grow, as you scale, to maintain that sense of commitment to a bigger purpose.
Janet touched on what, a business valuation expert would call goodwill. And I think it's very important that you transcend the value of your business across the entire enterprise. Otherwise, you're going to fall short and you're going to lose a lot of value if all of that value is tied into the key man, is often the term that's used. But if it's tied into the business owners, if anything were to happen to that business owner, whether it's simply they're wanting to sell their business and exit, they're not going to be able to keep all of that value in the business. The value will go down if it's aligned with the business owner versus being aligned with the entire enterprise.
Yeah, I think it's really important, because even though right now we're talking about kind of the foundation of your business, but the reason you have to have a strong foundation when you build a house or when you build a business is because everything else is layered and rests on top of it, and some people are like, oh, I'll worry about my core values later. I'll worry about my vision later. I have to get my first clients, or I have to get profits, or I have to get more revenue. Well, that's like saying I'm going to build my house in quicksand and worry about the quicksand later. No, the house will start to sink and your business will start to sink if it doesn't have a super strong foundation. One of the companies that Angie and I both really love is Southwest, and I love their core values, and I want to just read a couple of them off. So, Southwest really is all about customer service, their employees, and serving their clients. And so some of their core values are warrior spirit, strive to be the best, display a sense of urgency, never give up, servant's heart, follow the golden rule, treat others with respect, embrace our Southwest family, fun-loving attitude, and then wow our customers. So one of the things that we run into a lot when we give people the assignment of, okay, well, you need to create core values if you don't already have them and define them, is we get a lot of jargon and platitudes. Innovation, customer service, honesty, integrity. Those are all great, but they're not personal to you. And if your core values are not personally meaningful to you, if they're not something that really gets you out of bed in the morning, then they don't really mean anything, and they're not going to mean anything to your clients, and they're not going to mean anything to your employees, so you might as well just throw them out the window.
And a lot of those integrity, honesty, those are things that are a given. Those are assumed. Your clients are going and customers are going to assume those things. So you have to create core values that go beyond what's expected.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, integrity and honesty. Would you buy from any company that didn't have integrity and honesty intentionally? Would you intentionally go and purchase from a company that wasn't honest and didn't have integrity and didn't care about customer service? No, of course not. So you want your core values, again, like with, Southwest, warrior spirit. That's not really like a given. Fun-loving attitude. That's not something that every airline can say. And in fact, it's something that every airline has not been able to say, and why Southwest has really been able to survive and thrive through, really challenging times, and through situations where other airlines were not able to make it, airlines with bigger, deeper pockets and more investment, because Southwest has customer loyalty, and you can't buy customer loyalty. That's one of the things that, when we talk about bigger businesses that have bigger budgets, and we talk with business owners who can throw money at, you can throw money at marketing, you can throw money at advertising, you can throw money at, attracting great talent, but you can't buy loyalty. You can't buy loyalty from your customers, and you can't buy loyalty from your employees. You have to earn it. And if you don't have a vision and you don't have core values, you're not going to be able to earn that loyalty, no matter how big or how profitable your business is.
Well, I hope you had a great lesson on vision and core values. And, please share in the comments your vision and your core values, because the more people that know what you stand for, the greater audience you're going to have for your business. And again, it's so important to have core values. It's so important that those core values are supported by your why.
And that's kind of what we wanted to talk about today. I think next week we will touch on how your core values support your why help you attract your ideal clients. Because when you have a company that has a strong vision and strong values, you're going to naturally be able to create a market dominating position. You're going to naturally be able to create products and services that align with what you believe and who you are, that reflect your talents. And then ultimately what that leads to is really attracting your ideal clients. And I don't care how long you've been in business or how much profits your company has generated, every single company in the world wants more ideal clients. So that's what we're going to talk about next week.
Thank you for tuning in.